Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and today I have a Word Wednesday for you. And today's Word Wednesday is bandwagon. Now, it's not really anything to do with the book, but you'll see why I've chosen bandwagon in a moment. Now, a few weeks ago, I reviewed the fantastically great women who have changed history, and there's been a number of these types of books. There's Stories for Rebel Girls, and I think there's Stories for Rebel Girls 2 now, and various books. So books that focus on women's contribution to history and the history of science are very popular at the moment, and they're and rightly so. It's about time the balance was addressed. So what somebody cleverly has thought, okay, seems to be a bit of a gap in the market. What we need are more books that focus on the contribution of men to history. And so born is Stories for Boys Who Dare to Be Different. And it's presented with, in the same way, with the page and pictures. So, okay, yeah, I'm a little bit cynical, hence the bandwagon thing, which is a little bit unfair because this actually is a great book. I was a little bit tongue-in-cheek by bandwagon because actually some of the people in here should be highlighted in the current climate, and this is an admirable book, and it has some great stuff in it. And so yes, so it is Stories for Boys Who Dare to Be Different. It's published by Quercus. It's by Ben Brooks, who is probably young enough to be my nephew. Let's see, what does it say on the back? An inspiring collection of 100 stories of famous and not so famous men from past to present day who went on to make the world a better place through compassion, generosity and self-belief. And there's a little asterisk on the self-belief. At the bottom it says, no action heroes or princesses to be saved here. So who's in this book then? Well, it's a mixture of, as it said on the back, historical and contemporary people. And I look through, we've got Ai Weiwei and Alan Turing's in here. Barack Obama's in here, Benjamin Netanyahu, Bill Gates, go through the alphabet a little bit more, Confucius is in here, Carl Linnaeus is in here, Chelsea Sullenberger is in here, Daniel Radcliffe is in here, David Attenborough, Derek Redmond, Fabio Chavez, Galileo, Ishiru Honda, Jesse Eisenberg is in here, John Green, John Lennon, Junot Diaz, Braille, Patch Adams, Oscar Wilde, Roald Dahl, Salvador Dali, Van Gogh, and Thomas Edison's in here. Somebody called Tank Man is in here, who's the guy from Tiananmen Square. And what I find interesting, actually, a curious thing, is that the book is alphabetical order. It's alphabetical order by first name, which is slightly curious. But anyway, so, and then it goes through and you get a page per person and an illustration. Some of the illustrations are good, some of them are a bit ropey. I'm trying to remember who the ropey one was now, but I remember thinking that really is a bad picture. If I open the book reasonably randomly, let's see who we've got. Daniel Tammet, or Tamay, I don't know. As a baby, Daniel never stopped crying. He would bash his head against the wall until his mum picked him up and rocked him to sleep. No one knew what was wrong. Then Daniel had an epileptic fit. Everyone was terrified because his grandfather had died of epilepsy, and they thought his life was over. So this guy was born in 1979, so quite a lot younger than me. Basically, he's been diagnosed with autism, and he's a bit of a maths whiz, and so he's in here. Aside from numbers, Daniel likes languages. He can speak 10 and has created his own called Manti. He has written multiple books and his memory isn't bad either. He's memorised pi to 22,514 decimal places, and I'm technically disabled. I just wanted to show people that disability needn't get in the way. So it's full of people like that, really, who haven't let the adversity in their lives get the better of them, and have also made other people's lives better. Fabio Chavez here is born on the outskirts of Asunción, the capital city of Paraguay. He lies a giant rubbish dump called the Cachura Mountains and Valleys, made entirely of plastic bags of scrap metal. Poor recyclers wander through the mountains and valleys searching for a small piece of aluminium or plastic they can sell on for a tiny bit of money. So basically Fabio was hired to go to Cachura and teach the recyclers things they should and shouldn't be looking out for. While he was there, they got chatting and told them that he worked with a young people's orchestra in another town. And they've basically taught the recyclers children music and gone on from there. So it's formed an orchestra, basically, where the children have gone to America, Norway and Palestine and Japan. And the money they've made has been channeled back into their community built around a rubbish dump. Through the power of music, Fabio has brought hope into their lives. Iqbal Masir, at the age of 4, he started to work at a carpet factory at the age of 4. When his mum got sick, she borrowed $100 from the factory owner to have an operation. She couldn't pay the money back, so he had to go into slave. And he basically taught about slave ownership and was actually murdered. In 1983 to 1995, he was murdered for speaking out against the factory owners. By that time, he had saved the lives of over 3,000 trapped children who felt as though they'd been forgotten. And it's stuff like that. Obviously, this book is kind of aimed at children. It's really sobering to be reminded of that going on in the world, and also for my kids, who the most difficult thing is whether I'll let them play on the Xbox. The children get fed up of being told that they're very privileged, but it does bring that home, how adversity and what have you is throughout the world, but how it can be overcome. So although I was flippant about the book at the beginning, it has got some really sort of important people in here, like Turing's in here and the stuff he had to overcome. Harvey Milk is in here, John Green, Oscar Wilde, and so lots of people from all different types of background and sexuality and all that kind of stuff. Very diverse book, so it is really good. It's celebrating the diversity of humanity. What I would really like to see is just a great, I suppose, stories for people who dare to be different, so we can put girls and boys together, because I don't really like this idea that, oh, this book is for girls and this book is for boys, because it's not really true, and it would be much better and happier if we could merge the two and just have great history books for people, about people, great biographical dictionaries that was inspiring for people of all genders, and we didn't have to differentiate between them on how we marketed our books. And I guess that's really what it comes down to, is the marketing of the books. So that's a little bit of a shame, but the book is great. It's by Ben Brooks. It's going to be $17.99 in the UK. Quercus are a UK publisher, so that it's probably available in the US. I'm not sure how much it will be, but I'll flash that up. That's it. Stories for boys who dare to be different. I hope you found that useful. If you want to know any more about who's in the book, do ask it in the comments below. If you have any observations about the book, then please do put that in the comments below as well. As I say, it's a really nice looking book. There's Derek Redmond there, who is famous in Britain at least, for his leg giving up when he was in the Olympic final, and his dad coming in and helping him across the race line. It's full of stories like that. I say it's a really nice book if you're looking to inspire some children who perhaps the world is getting on top of them, or just teach them about some key people from history and our contemporary world. Then this book should do it for you. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you enjoy these Word Wednesday posts. There'll be another one coming along in about a week, I imagine. Until then, take care and happy reading. Bye!